Hello, citizens of the world. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're new around here, my name is Courtney Keeley, and I am the founder of Open Up. This week's video is the next installation in the discussion on exploitation of immigrant workers. I want to take this time to discuss exploitation within the animal agriculture industry, specifically with poultry plants, in the case of Mississippi in 2019. According to the Washington Post, beginning in the 1990s, Latin American immigrants were recruited to Mississippi by the poultry industry, where they arrived to work in some of the lowest paid and most dangerous jobs in the country. For some historical context, the North American Free Trade Agreement, also known as NAFTA, was enacted in 1994. According to The Conversation, this did a lot for manufacturing in Mexico. However, it caused a lot of harm for small-scale farmers who could not, quote, compete with these cheap imports, end quote, from U.S. agriculture. As a result, a lot of folks migrated to the U.S., looking for whatever work they could get. According to NPR, around this time, poultry plants actively advertised in South Florida in order to attract immigrant workers. Poultry plant workers used to primarily be African Americans, until about the 80s or 90s, when unions advocating for the rights of African American workers began to get a real foothold in negotiations with the industry. The industry began seeking immigrant workers in an attempt, I argue, to continue paying low wages and not address the dangerous conditions in the plants. Angela Stacey, an anthropologist from University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, claims the following from her research. Chicken plants will do what they can to protect their bottom line. And so some of the stories I heard working with the Mississippi Poultry Workers Center, the biggest complaint that people would have is that they weren't allowed to take a break to use the bathroom. So people are using the bathroom in their clothes on the line, which is embarrassing, degrading, and demoralizing. I really want to bring attention to the fact that the plants sought out people who did not have as much organized protection as other groups in their recruitment process. The poultry plant sent recruiters to southern Florida and brought immigrants back on Greyhound buses to work in Mississippi, despite the fact that they had workers who already lived in the community. They could have just negotiated with the unions that I mentioned earlier. However, that would have put the bottom line in jeopardy. The large-scale recruiting mainly took place in the 1990s, but it has continued today via word of mouth from one extended family member to another about access to jobs in Mississippi. The significant immigrant population has added new dimensions to the character of Mississippi, as immigrants have established their families there over the past 30 years. This has added authentic Mexican cuisine, Spanish-language churches, and Mississippi has also seen many young Latinos, Latinas, and other Latin Americans grow and follow their ambitions. All of this was put in jeopardy in 2019 when ICE raided poultry plants all across Mississippi with almost 700 people being detained. Some have viewed these raids as a sort of retaliation against workers, like in the Democracy Now! Video that I have linked below. They say this because the raids typically happen after the company faces legal scrutiny due to workers' complaints. One response to this allegation has been that no, this is punishment for the corporations, yet the employers of the undocumented immigrants aren't the ones who are facing legal repercussions. Please remember that the drivers of these actions are the corporations, in this specific case, the poultry plants, while the people who are facing the main repercussions of the actions in question are the undocumented immigrants. With that, don't forget to sign up for the email list, give the Instagram a peek, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and give this video a like. Until next week, citizens of the world, goodbye.